Well, I've been following this story that took place literally the next town over from where I live, and it's definitely a bizarre one. This is another kind of one of those, just I don't really know where their head was at, but we have somebody who had attempted to carry out a plan to remove Donald Trump and his from this planet, and his plan somehow was to take out his own parents and then use that money for it. The whole thing seems like a weird psyop, to be honest with you. But again, sometimes it's hard to it's hard to understand crazy people. So let's dive into the details of what led this Trump hating child to remove his mother and stepfather and try to fund an attempt on Donald Trump. Now, this literally happened in the next town over from where I live. And it's, from where I live, that's about as good as a neighbor can be. A kid took out his mother and stepfather in their stunning $900,000 home because he thought it would help give him, quote, clout to take out Donald Trump. Nikita Kassab, 17, was arrested in March after, I always think this is funny. Like, why are we just hearing about this now, right? After taking out his parents at their home in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and then fled the state in their car. Prosecutors said that he fled the scene. He did this on February 11th, fled the scene and leaving them, to decompose inside their home. However, they were not discovered until police performed a welfare check at the family's sprawling home on February 28th. So think about that. This kid had a 17-day head start. Now, I'm not sure, again, the clout, I don't know how you turn clout into, paying for hitmen. I don't know. He ended up getting pulled over by police while conducting a normal traffic stop 2 states over in Kansas that same day with a weapon on the passenger side floor. As part of the investigation, a federal search warrant obtained by the news revealed that the teen had extreme materials on his device, including a manifesto that included getting rid of President Trump. Now, again, we're only hearing about this a month later because it's Trump, right? We're going to have everything on the planet, probably on this psychopath that went after Josh Shapiro. But, this kid, nobody seems to know. There's also information on how to carry it out. The ending of his parents appeared to be an effort to obtain the financial means and autonomy necessary to carry out the plan. So I don't know if he thought he was going to get their life insurance. That doesn't really jive with, him running. None of this stuff makes sense. Investigators found the material on his phone regarding a neo bad guy from World War II group called the Order of Nine Angels. His alleged writings show images of Adolf with the following context: "Hail him," according to court documents. Kassim allegedly called for the removal of Trump to incite chaos and save white folks from Jewish-controlled politicians. Here's what I'll say. Okay, so let's take everything that they're saying about him at face value. Just another deranged person. We just had a deranged person on the left, try to take out a governor and his family while they slept in their home. And now we have somebody who has been allegedly, radicalized on the far right. This is the result of mainstream media rhetoric when applied to already hostile or volatile people. It's kind of like an MK Ultra thing where they're like, we know if we pump out all this insane stuff over the period of, enough deranged people are going to take it in and somebody's going to do what we want them to do, at least in my opinion. He was in touch with other parties about his plan to take out the president and overthrow the government of the United States. And he paid for, at least in one part, a drone and explosives to be used as a weapon to go after him. Gee, another kid that you had involved with a drone. Now, that other guy in Butler, he had a drone, but it was also like he didn't use it to carry out the attack. But, so authorities say the teenager had previously confided in a female classmate about fantasizing about not only taking it out on his parents, but taking his own life. So this kid, I mean, look at him. He looks very disturbed. Very disturbed. There's surveillance footage found from this scene reportedly shows a camera focused on their bodies, which have been covered with blankets and pillows. So he put up this camera so he could watch it later. In the footage, Kassab is seen entering the room to keep candles lit, and at one point looking directly into the camera and saying, "So you can see him there. I can literally see the rotten body there." According to the criminal complaint, officers found a .357 on him. In addition to investigators discovering the driver's license authorities also uncovered telegram messages leading up to the event in which he allegedly inquired to a Russian speaker while in Ukraine, "I'll be able to live a normal life even when they find out I did it." So he wants to go to Ukraine after carrying it out. Isn't that interesting? So you have this kid involved in, connected with Ukraine. You also had Ruth in Florida, also connected to Ukraine. Now, again, are they spurious connections? Are they completely unrelated? Maybe. But I could tell you, I don't know anyone in my life that's connected with Ukraine. And these are two people that tried to take out the president, or at least planned to, that wanted to then go to Ukraine. I mean, there's also this star student. He's a star student? Let's see. By the way, I saw this other article where people were actually, like, the school officers had actually raised the alarm. Here's this.
I haven't found it yet.
Judith Mayer's 17-year-old grandson appeared in court for the first time since he was charged in connection to the deaths of his mother and stepfather.
This is in the District Court of Trigo County, Kansas. It's in the matter of Nikita Kassab.
The teenager was not in school for 2 weeks at Waukesha West High School before a school resource officer and his grandmother requested a welfare check at the family home. It's there police found his mother, Tatiana Kassab, and their dog in the family vehicle. Police pinged Police pinged Kassab's phone in Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado. On Saturday, police in Waukene, Kansas, pulled him over at a traffic stop where Kassab was arrested and evidence was found.
Where was he even going?
Appeared for an extradition hearing.
Yes, that's correct.
He has 2 felony counts of operating a motor vehicle.
I mean, what? I just think it's awfully weird that he was in contact with a Russian speaker and planned to flee to Ukraine. Don't you think that that's kind of weird? That's the second person in a row that had Ukrainian connections. Isn't that weird? Now, he definitely, I mean, that mugshot goes hard. He did a good job on taking that. This kid was not a leftist. I doubt he was a far right person. He was just, or I mean, maybe he was, but he was just a complete lunatic, and he lived in the next town over from me, apparently. He also had links to a satanic cult. Investigators also found material on his phone relating to the Order of Nine Angels, which the FBI describes as a satanic cult that has strong anti-Judaic and anti-Christian and anti-Western ideologies. So, which was it? So was he anti-Jew or was he anti-Christian, or, which is it? He was in touch with other parties, and he paid for, at least in part, things to help carry it out. Other parties with whom Kassup was in contact appear to have been aware of his plan and actions and have provided assistance to Kassup in carrying them out. It added, investigators also found material on Kassup's phone related to this group. He also, is just basically the worst kind of people imaginable. I won't go through all their individual beliefs. The reported manifesto was titled "Accelerate the Collapse" and referred to Kassup's alleged goal for a political revolution in the United States to save the white race from Jewish-controlled politicians. The document also included images. On March 10th, authorities interviewed classmates of Kassup. The classmates stated that he would send horrible videos that included terrible images put to Russian music via Snapchat. Kassup told classmates he intended to do what he was going to do, but did not have access to the weapon. He later told classmates that he would befriend somebody with one and then steal it. It seems like there were an awful lot of signs here that got ignored. If you ask me, seems like there's an awful lot of signs, warning signs, that got ignored here with this guy. Did people ignore them on purpose? Was he reported? These are not questions I would have asked before Butler, PA. But ever since Butler, PA, now I'm like, well, geez, was he on our government's radar? Were they going to let this kid operate with impunity to do whatever he wanted to do? I don't know. I feel like maybe these questions are questions that I wouldn't have answered or asked just a month ago. But here we are, right? Here we are, and, it could just be some psycho kid. They exist. The questions are, was he on SSRIs? Was he on, all this kind of stuff? That'll come out. But I'm going to keep my eye on this story, especially since they're covering it locally, too. So make sure you leave a like on this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.